Hi, Scorpio. Thank you for your patience. I'm really sorry that I didn't get your readings out by the 1st, but life got in the way. I won't bore you with the details. How are we doing? Happy birthday, late October, Scorpios. What, are we doing anything special for our birthday? Doing anything special for Halloween? Okay, that one wanted to come out. I like this one. Please surround us with the warm, white, loving light of God and give us God-given guidance for the highest good of all for Scorpio and all those who love Scorpio. For Scorpio and all those who love Scorpio. Please surround us with the warm, white, loving light of God. Give us God-given guidance for the highest good of all for Scorpio and all those who love Scorpio. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where is Scorpio? What crosses them? What's above them? What's behind them? What's behind them? What's ahead of them? One more shuffle. You're the one I want. You're the one I need. Girl, what can I do? Getting rid of some demons. I love it. Telling the devil to stick it where the sun don't shine. To go back to hell where he came from. So the devil is anything we feel bound to. Anything we feel chained to. It can be a job, a toxic relationship. It can be addictions. But the devil is, Lucifer was one of the best angels, the most like talented angels, right? But he had such an ego that he wanted to put himself above God. So God said, okay, you're banished to earth and you can't come back up to heaven anymore. So the devil, because he's stuck on earth, he's this fallen angel stuck on earth, he whispers in our ears and he tells us self-doubt, right? He wants to keep all of us down here. Because my belief is we all go to heaven after this, right? So, and I know there's like different religions and there's that whole Revelations, like 144,000. But anyway, for the sake of this argument, this fallen angel keeps others down because he had too much pride to go along with the rules of the universe, right? He had too much ego. So this is telling those voices, those whispers that create doubt and fear. We're just realizing that we're above that and that we are free, basically. We're free of those thoughts. We're free to ascend to heaven. We're free to connect with God, right? So let's get on to it. We have Hearth as your oracle message, and Hearth is happiness in our hearts and homes. So this is a very home card. So you might be feeling extra nesty right now, extra sentimental about friends and family. I imagine if, especially with late October birthday Scorpios, that there's lots of celebrations in the home, right? But this is like warm, happy family times, right? I love that. It's one of my favorites in this deck. And we have a cute little gargoyle here. So you know how I was saying that we're telling the devil to go to hell back where he came from? Well, excuse me. In the same way, little demons and devils can work to our advantage. So there's this gargoyle, right? And he acts as like a protector, right? So this demon is protecting like over your house, but it's you being able, like you knowing how to control those inner demons, right? Controlling those inner demons so that they act as protections in your home. I like it. I like it. Oh my gosh, Scorpio. Gosh, jealous already. So we start out with the 10 of Ghosts, or the 10 of Cups. This is happily ever after, ultimate fulfillment, happy home, happy family, not unlike this Hearth card. True love, right? Prince Charming and Damsel in Distress have found their way to each other, and they're in love, and the family has blessed them. And a baby's on the way and stuff like that, right? So this is like peak emotional fulfillment. I love it for you. And if you aren't experiencing this right now, you're gonna be really soon. So this is it's crossed by the Seven of Bats or the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a sneaky card, but because it's reversed, I feel like there's some sort of transparency. Like you may have found out something recently that made you even happier. I love that. Okay, so in your thoughts and feelings, we have the Four of Ghosts. So even though you might have all this happiness, actually, I'm feeling this is someone else that you're thinking and feeling about, who's a little sulky and everyone's having fun and they're just being a grump. So I feel like you and your family are all of these ghosts happy, and then there's one family member who is just being like, can't accept how happy it is. And it could very well be you, but I don't know. I'm feeling like it's someone external from you who's just like, this isn't good enough, even though it's like ultimate, you know, emotional satisfaction. But there's something that this person is not satisfied with, right? Let's go to what you're leaving behind. You're leaving behind the Eight of Ghosts. You're leaving stuff behind. So you've walked away from something. This is a card about all of our emotions, like being overwhelmed by our emotions. So we need to step away, step back. You know, if this is speaking to you, if you're a little like bored and dissatisfied in this happy home situation, it could have just been like overwhelming emotions, right? So the Eight of Cups or the Eight of Ghosts, it's like experiences that you've shared with people, and you have the good and the bad, right? But all of those, like both the good and the bad, hold so much emotion, like just intensity. Scorpios know all about intensity, right? So it can be overwhelming because the bad memories are intense and the good memories are intense. And I think perhaps this devil that you're releasing, you know, it was trying to sort out our memories to see which, like, what was true and what was something we created as a result of this inner self-talk, right? Let's keep it moving. So in the foundation, we have the Ten of Bats. So you've definitely been through hard times. The Ten of Bats or the Ten of Swords is a card about heartache, betrayal, backstabbing, right? Whenever it's reversed, it is, but it's a 10, right? So it's at the end of the cycle. So it's the worst it's going to get. Like, you have been so accustomed to getting shat on that it doesn't even faze you anymore, right? So it's kind of like building up an immunity to life's challenges. But whenever the Ten of Bats or the Ten of Swords is reversed, it's like you have been able to take all of your shitty experiences and turn them into gold, turn them into wisdom. So, and I also get, if this is you, then it might be you feel kind of like light years ahead of the people you're around. Like maybe it's like you have more emotional intelligence as a result of the things that you've gone through. But it's like, maybe it's hard, like it's like you've outgrown one way of yourself, right? You've ascended, you evolved, you have reached a higher level of enlightenment, you've leveled up. And whenever we do that, sometimes we feel a disconnect from our friends and family who have not yet leveled up, right? So you could just be feeling kind of like an outsider as a result of moving past these issues when some people might not have. I'm going to get some clarifiers on these, but let's see what is ahead of you. Excuse me. We have death. That's you. So there could be an ending to something, but it's change. It's transformation. Every ending is a new beginning. And I like the death card in this particular deck because he's like watering some plants, and that's all about death. So I've been really getting into gardening this summer, and one of the things, I've killed some plants, and it happens, you know, it's like trial and error, and I'll get better at it. But one of my successes that I'm really proud of is my compost pile. So I take all my eggs and like eggshells and coffee grounds and banana peels, and mix them together with sticks and leaves and soil. And then whenever, like, it goes through this transformation, right? It goes through this decomposing, and after a few weeks, it's this rich, nutrient-packed soil that helps my plants, right? So that's my proudest achievement in my gardening, but it's a very death card, right? It takes one element and transmutes it into another element. So it's like you have taken your challenges. I also see Saturn up here. Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn is our hard lesson. Excuse me. Saturn is our challenges, and yeah, just long-term challenges. It can also be karma. So let's see where your Saturn is. Right now, Saturn is in Capricorn. It's home. But you could have been going through some Saturnian experiences, and as a result, you've learned, and as a result, you've changed. You've grown, right? Grown like a plant. You have moved from one stage of life to the next, you know? In the typical decks, it usually shows a Grim Reaper, and it makes me think of how, like, nervous everyone is of death and, like, to die, right? Please don't let me die tonight. Please don't let my baby die. But death is just one other shell, you know? It's just one other, you know, we don't look the same now as we did whenever we were 5 years old, right? So we're always changing. We're always moving into different phases of our lives. And so whenever I see that Grim Reaper figure, I think, like, this is a kind angel of death who is being patient with us while we are transitioning from one stage of life to the next. And definitely, if you believe in reincarnation or even the afterlife period, the Grim Reaper is someone who, like, ushers you in to something that might be a little scary because it's the unknown, right? So that's your element. That's you. You, the morbid person of the zodiac. I'm on a Scorpio cusp. I also have a Scorpio stellium, so I get it. I get it. Okay, so with this Four of Ghosts, we have the Page of Ghosts. That could be you. You could also be dealing with another Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces. We have the Seven of Ghosts reverse, and we have the Magician. So I think you have recently gone through a period where you have narrowed down some options. And, you know, I haven't as of yet said if this was a love reading, a career reading, a spiritual reading, but fit it as you wish. Don't try to force it, but make it fit as you wish. So you've been narrowing down some options, and I think there might be a little bit of fear in that, like fear of rejection, because you might be doubting your abilities. You shouldn't doubt your abilities. And so if you identify as the sulky person in your group, then I think this is, it's like you have transitioned into a new phase of your life. You've leveled up, but you just don't know what to do with your new abilities, right? You don't know, you're still practicing this new phase of your life and how to use your gifts, your talents, your abilities, and yeah, just honing them, practicing them. But you may feel like a little lack of confidence right now because it's so new. And it's like, you know, whenever we first learn to ride a bike, we're not going to like breeze on down the street, you know, it takes some practice. But really don't doubt your abilities. You do have everything you need. It's just a transition. You could also be dealing with an Aries. I want to get some clarification on this 8 of Ghosts, 9 of Imps, lots of burdens. Lots of burdens. But it's like you're seeing things like... Sorry, Scorpio. Okay, so, I got a message that you're receiving mysteries from the universe. I don't know if I caught that. I hate whenever it cuts off. It messes with my flow. But, okay, so I clarified what you're leaving behind. We have the 9 of Imps, or the 9 of Wands, the 10 of Pumpkins, or the 10 of Pentacles reversed, and the 7 of Pumpkins, or the 7 of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like for some of you, this is job related. This is you walking away from a job, only because the 9 of Wands, or the 9 of Imps, is a card about burdens. The 10 of Pumpkins, it's also a family card. So, so for some of you, I feel like maybe there wasn't a great work-life balance, and so you might have walked away from a job that might have had good benefits, but you wanted to spend time with your family. But for others of you, this was a job that you were investing a lot in, that you were putting a lot of hard work into, and you never saw a reward for it, right? You just kept planting seeds, kept putting in hard work, and you never saw like job security, long-term stability, like nothing of value, right? Nothing that would help you for the long haul. And again, it could be a relationship too. It could be a burdensome relationship that you put a lot of time and energy and love into, and it just wasn't, like, you might have been with someone who didn't share your values. I want to get some clarifications on this 10 of Bats, the 10 of Swords reversed. How did I get that you were finding out mysteries of the universe? Hate when I get like insights and they're cut off from my phone memory. Hate that. I want to give you all the messages, Scorpio. Please give me clarification on the 10 of Bats reverse, please. What does the 10 of Bats reverse mean? What sort of betrayals have they gone through? What sort of betrayals? I also felt like if this sulky butt, if this is someone external to you and you don't identify with that energy, then this is someone who has seen you level up and like they miss the way things used to be, right? They want the old Scorpio back, but they don't realize that you are in a new and improved package, right? You are in a better place right now, and so they're just being sulky because it is something that's unknown to them, right? So they like, if you go through a transition, your loved ones have to go through a transition too, because you have to get to know each other. You could be dealing with an air sign, a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, because we have the Queen of Bats and the Knight of Bats. Both of them can have a sharp tongue. So you might have faced some harsh words with someone. The Queen of Bats, or the Queen of Swords, she's someone who has been there, done it. She bought the t-shirt, honey. And she's been lied to, cheated on, died on. She's the widow, the divorcee. And as a result, she can be a little guarded. She's a really funny person, really, really smart and witty. But she doesn't always open her heart up because she's all about cutting people out of her life that don't serve her. Whenever she's reversed, I'm feeling like a little softer energy. So you may have seen like the good and the bad of this person. The Knight of Bats is similar to having a sharp tongue, right? But this is someone who has a calling in his heart. He has this ideal of what love should be or how the world should be. And he has his own set of values and his own, like, truth, right? His, like, universal truth. That all humans deserve this, or all humans should do this. But he can storm into a place. He could, like, bust through the door and, you know, go off on everyone, pop off on everyone. So these two characters, they are very smart, and they're very quick-witted and, like, brilliant with their words, but they can cut with their words too. So you may have experienced some backstabbings and betrayals as a result of what someone said to you, just like harsh words that someone said. And I want to say, you know, I'm an air sign, and I feel like we are a little bit misunderstood. I mean, Scorpios can have sharp tongues too. I have Mercury in Scorpio. I can sting. So this could very well be you. It could be you feeling remorseful about the things you have said to others. But I'm getting the sense that this is like something you experienced, something you had to go through, but it ultimately made you a stronger person and made you more wise. Like, they laid down some truth. It wasn't in the sweetest way. It might have been pretty harsh. But it gave you some wisdom that you didn't have before. And you might not have seen it from that perspective. You might have not seen their point of view, not seen their side of the coin. But the Ten of Swords, it's like, I think also some of you have learned not to wait on something, right? Not to wait to say something, like to spit it out, because the Hanged Man is about waiting. And so whenever it's reversed, it's like, I'm not waiting, blah, right? But I think this is all about learning how to communicate our truth on a heart level and finding a way to set boundaries that don't hurt others. Let me know if that resonated with you, Scorpio. I love you very, very much, and I will see you next time. Happy birthday, October, Scorpio babies. I love you. Bye.